Hello and welcome to the 7th episode of the M-Wire Movie Week in Review. Today we are going to be discussing Super Troopers. I am TFG1 Mike, and Steve/Megatron has made his triumphant return from not being here last week. Hello.
Howdy.
How are you?
Very well.
Yes. I'm pretty much assuming this is going to be a very short general chat, seeing as how we've recorded 2 other shows today.
Yes.
So, yeah. Not much is really going on. I've got like this massive headache, which I just took some medicine for. So I think we're just gonna get right into the box office and DVD news segment. We'll be right back. Alright, we're back, and I guess making another triumphant return is the DVD theatrical news segment. We're going to keep this short and sweet. This will probably become a future segment for M-Wire before the actual film discussion that we're going to be talking about each episode. Right now, according to VideoETA.com, the top movies at the box office are District 9 at number 1, G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra at number 2. The Time Traveler's Wife at 3, Julia and Julia at 4, G-Force at 5, The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard at 6, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince at number 7, The Ugly Truth at number 8, Ponyo at number 9, and Funny People at number 10. Okay, first question. We're really not going to discuss it, but why the hell is Harry Potter still in the top 10 and Transformers isn't?
Because Transformers has been out a very long time.
Yes. In theaters as of this past Monday, I believe it was, 50 Dead Men Walking, starring Jim Sturgis, Rose McGowan, and Ben Kingsley. 5 Minutes of Heaven, starring Liam Neeson and James Nesbitt. Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards, starring Brad Pitt, Melanie Laurent, and Eli Roth. Mark P's Experience, starring Jason Schwartzman, Ben Stiller, and Anna Kendrick. My One and Only, starring Renee Zellweger, Chris Noth, and Kevin Bacon. Postgrad, starring Alexis Bledel, Zach Gilford, and Michael Keaton. Shorts, The Adventure of the Wishing Rock, starring John Cryer, William H. Macy, and Leslie Mann. The World's Greatest Dad, starring Robin Williams, Daryl Sabara, and Alexi Gilmore. And X Games 3D, the movie, starring Shaun White, Travis Pastrana, and Ricky Carmichael. None of these in theaters give me any reason to go see a movie.
Yeah.
And these are just like the newest releases as far as in theaters. This isn't counting like Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, whatever else is still currently in theaters. These are just the most recently released movies to theaters. I really don't care about any of these.
Well, the World's Greatest Dad I'll probably see when it hits DVD.
Yeah, only because it has Robin Williams in it.
Yeah, well, it's not only got him, but John Travolta's in it too.
Oh, well, it's pretty cool, I guess.
But G.I. Joe is probably the other one I'm going to see.
Yeah.
Along with, because my wife wants to see The Time Traveler's Wife and The Ugly Truth, so we'll probably see that too.
Yeah, I want to see the Time Traveler's Wife. That actually looks pretty good. So yeah, there really isn't really that much other news. I mean, I could have gotten stuff that coming up releases and stuff like that, but that's just too long, and you never know when stuff's going to be released half the time. So,
well, for this other bit, I will say that TFW 2005 has released official details of Transformers Revenge of the Fallen DVD Blu-ray release. To come out October 20th.
Yep. Which, as we said in All Things Transformers episode 30, that's roundabout, the usual time frame from theatrical release to DVD release, about 5.5 6 months.
And not only that, but Star Trek comes out on Blu-ray and DVD November 17th, pretty much a month later.
Yeah, right around Christmas time.
Yep.
So I think that's it for the DVD news and theatrical news. We're going to get into the actual show topic today, which is Super Troopers.
Discriminating audiences at the Sundance Film Festival have discovered one of the most shocking, unflinching, eye-opening films about cops ever made.
Do we look like the two dumbest guys in the world to you?
Go! Super Troopers. In this town, you don't mess with the law.
You know how fast you were going?
65.
63.
The law messes with you.
Isn't the speed limit 65?
Yeah, it is.
I'm freaking out, man.
Can I please see your license and registry?
Perhaps some spanking and cuffing is in order.
Ain't It Cool News says funny stuff all over this movie.
Oh. Give me a double bacon cheeseburger.
Double bacon cheeseburger? It's for a cop?
What the hell's that all about? You gonna spin it now?
No, I was just telling him that so he makes it good. Don't spit in that cop's burger.
Made me laugh out loud. Long and hard.
Another highway cop? What are you guys, multiplying?
They're not just fighting crime.
They look like spit to you?
Yeah.
Damn it, you burger!
They're fighting boredom.
They're coming back, man!
Pull the vehicle over!
I'm already pulled over. I'm already pulled over.
Pull over farther, man!
I can't pull it. Sir, I'm already pulled over.
He's already pulled over. He can't pull over any farther.
Super Troopers.
Cop does what before using his equipment in the field? They test it? They test it, exactly. Damn, that's good!
Okay, getting into today's show topic for M-Wire, we're going to be talking about Super Troopers. It's also known as Broken Lizard's Super Troopers. It's a 2001 comedy film directed by Jay Chandrasekhar. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I don't know.
Nope, you butchered it.
Well, I
don't know.
Names. I don't know. Written by and starring the Broken Lizard comedy group, Jay, Kevin Heffernan, Steve Lemmy, Paul Soder, and Eric Stolonsk, I don't know, and Marissa Kovlin, Daniel Von Bargen, and Brian Cox co-star, while Linda Carter has a cameo appearance. In total, Fox Searchlight paid $3.25 million for distribution rights of the film, and it grossed $18.5 million at the box office. Just initial thoughts before we get into the very, very short plot synopsis for this one. Unfortunately, Wiki didn't have a very long synopsis, which this film really doesn't need one.
No.
This film is comedy gold.
Oh, it's epically awesome. In fact, when I rented it after getting out of work and watched it, when I was taking back, the guy behind me quotes, he says, "Oh, you just watched Super Troopers?" He says, "That's a freaking awesome movie." He just leans over me and starts telling me that, and then he's like, "You know they have a sequel coming out soon, right?"
Yeah.
And then I take it up to the counter, and the clerk at Blockbuster's he says, "Man," he says, "I love this movie." He says, "The only thing that sucks is trying to figure out which end is the right end to open it."
Yeah, that's true. Because of the actual actors are upside down when you look at it from left to right, but if you flip it and the title is upside down, the actors are upside right on the DVD case.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yes. We will get into the sequel/prequel a little bit
at the end.
Yeah, we'll get into that at the end. So basically, going into the plot here, the plot centers on 5 Vermont state troopers who seem to have more of a knack for pranks than actual police work. Most of the time is spent devising new ways of messing with the heads of the people they pull over and hazing the new recruit, quote-unquote, Rabbit. They also find time to torment their easily infuriated radio dispatcher, Rodney Farva, who has been exiled from patrol work because he was involved in a fight with several students during a potentially questionable and dubious traffic stop of a school bus, which is later revealed during the credits. Their days of pranking and slacking off are cut short when the troopers suddenly find themselves attempting to solve a murder, bust a drug smuggling ring, and avoid having their post eliminated by the state's impending budget cut, resulting in their transfer or quitting or opening up a roller disco. I wish Wiki had a more detailed synopsis. Whoever entered the information for this, basically just gave a general synopsis. There is another paragraph, but I mean, I guess we can talk about the first, 5 or 10 scenes. This movie is just funny as hell. Like I said, it's comedy gold. The whole thing when they're pulling the weed heads over.
Oh yeah, that scene was epically awesome. I freaking love that.
Yeah, he's like the one dude. What's his name? We'll get into it once we get into the cast. It's where is it? Joey Kern plays the college kid that goes, he's already pulled over. He can't pull over any farther. It's just so funny. And then they make the one kid
eat all the pot. And mushrooms. Yeah. And then the other kid's like, you ate both those bags? Yeah. Dude, you just ate like $130 worth of weed and mushrooms. I'm gonna need my $130 now. Yeah, that's freaking messed up.
Yeah. And then the following scene, as they're doing this, one of their other troopers, Mac, goes speeding down the highway in a white Miata, and they give him chase. But they got the college kids in the back seat of the car. There's just so many things in this movie that are funny, and I think there's only like 1 or 2 scenes that make me cringe. But yeah, for the most part, it's really, really funny. So, the troopers have an ongoing rivalry with the local city of Spurbury Police Department and constantly have fights with them. Highway cops versus the local cops. One such dispute breaks out into an all-out fistfight, further increasing the station's chances of being shut down. The rivalry eventually results in the governors, who is Linda Carter as a cameo, praise for the efforts of the Spurbury PD, who had managed to keep one step ahead of the state police by making their department appear responsible for the confiscation of the smuggled drugs. Defeated and defrocked, the troopers unexpectedly stumble upon a scheme in which the local police are running protection for the aforementioned drug smugglers. The film's epilogue finds the highway post still eliminated due to the budget cuts. However, the troopers become the new officers of the Spurbury PD, replacing their presumably incarcerated, corrupt predecessors, thus free to continue their shenanigans in and around their jurisdiction. Again, I can't believe the plot synopsis for this one on Wiki is so short.
I know, this deserves such a bigger interpretation of it.
Oh yes, very, very much so.
There's so many pranks that should have been involved in this plot line.
Oh yeah, very, very much so. The repeat is funny as hell.
Yeah, the repeat pullover, that's freaking insane, and it's hilarious because they floor it past them and they're like, oh, okay, we're good. And then they stop, floor it in reverse, pull up right behind him again, and then say, pull over. I'm already pulled over.
Yeah. No, I was talking about the repeat when Foster and Mac are talking to the truck driver. He goes, sir, will you give me your license and registration? And then Matt comes up next to him. Sir, can we have your license and registration?
Oh, yeah, doubling him.
Yeah. Yeah. That was just so funny. And then, who can forget the scene where Thorny and Rabbit pull over the German couple? Oh God! This is thank God this movie is rated R, because this is not a movie for kids.
No, not at all.
And then Brian Cox's character, the chief of the troopers, getting drunk, and all that stuff, and going, to Grady's house, and I thought it was very, very cool how they did not let on that the local police were in on the whole drug smuggling thing. Because it's like, okay, well, yeah, these guys are going to get into constant fights, but what's the real story behind these guys, behind the local cops? I mean, and then we eventually find out that they're corrupt and they're running, protection for the drug smugglers. And of course, in that scene where they're chasing Mac down the street in the Miata, once they get to this, I guess it's a diner or restaurant or whatever, they start chugging syrup.
That's just freaking gross. I could never do that.
Well, I guess it's a Vermont thing, because a lot of syrup's made in Vermont. Even though this film was filmed in upstate New York, I believe it was. We'll get into that here in a little bit. Overall, what are some of your thoughts or favorite scenes or whatever?
Well, some of my favorite scenes are. Well, I love the pullover scene. That's just epic in itself. I love where they make Rabbit he gets bet when he pulls over Jim Gaffigan. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the name of his character, but when he pulls him over, he has to say meow in the sentence. I think it was 8 times.
No, that wasn't Rabbit. That was Foster. Mac's record was 8. And Thorny said, "I bet you can go 10." Or no, I don't know. One of the other. It was Mac and Foster that had pulled him over, and Mac was like, "Oh well, Thorny's record is 8, and I bet you can go 10 or whatever." And so yeah, that was funny as.
Yeah, that was just. I love that scene because he's just. Yeah, I have an audio clip of it, but it's quite hilarious to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Farva, where his dumbass at the fast food joint.
That was in the trailer. I love that.
And then he's like, he says, "That looks like spit." And then the other guy's like,
"Yep,
yeah." Ramathorn, he's like, "Yeah, it looks like it." And he says, whatever, fuck it. So he goes and eats it anyway, and then he goes to open up or rip off the little sticker on the side, and there's a big hole in it. Starts spilling his drink all over him, and
I want a liter of cola. We don't have a liter of cola.
He's like, "Just get a 20 ounce or get a large," and he's like, "I want a liter of cola." He's like, "I don't know what a liter is."
Yeah, it's funny as hell. I guess unless we have any other thoughts on the plot, we can go into the cast.
I guess we can go past.
No, not past, into the cast.
Whatever.
The state troopers, you have, again, Jay Chandrasekhar Hart, or whatever the hell his name is Lieutenant Arcot Thorny Ramathorn, a veteran of the Vermont State Police who is second in command of his barracks. Although he is the most serious of the field officers in his station, he has no inhibitions against bending the rules and playing pranks if he knows they will not result in any serious repercussions. He is in an open relationship with his son's mother, Bobby, who owns a head shop. At one point, they swing with the German couple in the trooper's custody for auto theft. His ethnicity remains a point of confusion and humor for the others who confuse him for a Mexican, Arab American, and African American rather than an Indian American, rather than the Indian American that he is. This character, he's funny, but
he's like a running gag.
Yeah. I don't think he's the funniest out of all of them.
No.
Up next, you have Paul Soter as Jeff Foster, arguably the most calm and reserved trooper of the force. He engages in a relationship with Spurbury police officer Ursula during the movie, and with her help ultimately uncovers the corruption of the other Spurbury PD officers. He is often knocked by his coworkers for his inability to grow a mustache. I like him. He's kind of like the straight man.
He's the mellow one out of the group.
Oh yeah, very much so. I guess, let's see, Steve Lemmy as McIntyre Mac Womack, the trooper who enjoys pranks the most. He is called a sick motherfucker by Captain O'Hagan because of extremes to which he is willing to go. Mac is also the most expressive of the troopers, whether verbally ridiculing Farva for his lame tricks or nearly taking out his anger over the closing of the station through violence against Foster. Mac is the proud owner of a costume that looks like a hunter having sex with a bear.
That was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was like, is that, the Spurbury PD to cops are like, is that's illegal, isn't it? I don't know. It's just wrong. And then you have Eric Stolhansky as Robert Rabbit Rodo, or Rudo, I don't know, whatever. In the newest edition of the first, he is partnered with Lieutenant Ramathorn until he is caught speeding in a car, confiscated his stolen property, and is temporarily relegated to dispatch. However, he is later reinstated due to another trooper's actions. He is often accused by Farva of knowing more about drugs than he should, and is accused of having toured with the Grateful Dead when he was younger. Although the new guy, the rookie of the team, Rabbit is noticeably more accepted by and welcomed in the group by the others than Farva, a source of contention with the latter. Rabbit is probably the straight man out of all of them. Yeah, he is the rookie, but he's probably the most as far as his character, he is the least out there out of the.
Oh yeah. Although they make him do a lot of the pranks as well.
Oh yeah, very much so. And you have Kevin Heffernan as Rodney Rod Farva, a fat, loud, obnoxious, arrogant radio operator. He is almost always under suspension from the field work, relegated to perennial dispatch due to his inability to control his anger. His pranks, quote-unquote shenanigans, are often described as cruel and tragic rather than cheeky and fun, making him not simply shenanigans but evil shenanigans, and is quick to use vulgarity when dealing with elderly couple who are, the elderly couple, they were actually his real-life parents, and didn't know exactly what he was going to say. Believing this kind of behavior the other troopers display on traffic stops, he advocates the naming of his patrol car with Ramathorn as Car Ramrod. I hated this character.
Yes, I was hoping that he'd get run over by a bus.
Forget the bus. Just take him out back and shoot him like O'Hagan said they were going to do a long time ago.
Well, they made him, because they said shenanigans over and over, and O'Hagan's like, next person that says that is getting taken out back and shot. And so they all said, so what's that restaurant, Farva? He's like, shenanigans. And then he says, what was that again? Shenanigans? And then they handed the gun to him.
Yeah. And finally, for the troopers, Brian Cox as Captain John O'Hagan, the commander of his Vermont State Trooper Barracks. He acts as a mentor to his troopers and tries his best to keep the station from being cut from the budget. He is a two-time boxing champion in the Navy and is derided by Farva for his choice in dress, is wearing a Canadian tuxedo, an outfit made completely from denim. Brian Cox is also the only actor to play a trooper who is not a member of the Broken Lizard Troop. Overall, these guys, as far as characters, not the actual actors, but as far as the characters, they do balance each other out. Each one is very individual of the others. And I thought it was a good group to put together.
Oh yeah, they definitely all fit well together.
Yes. And going into the Spurbury Police, you have Daniel Von Bargen as Police Chief Bruce Grady. I've seen him other places. I don't remember. I've seen him in other not really more famous movies, but I've seen him in other famous movies. So I'd have to look him up a little bit later, which I can tell.
So right now,
I was going to say I can tell by your clicking mouse that you're looking him up now. You got Marissa Coughlan as Officer Ursula Hansen, James Grace as Officer Rando, Michael Weave as Officer Smee, and then Dan Fay as Officer Burton. The other cast, I'm just going to list off here really quick. Other cast in order of appearance, you have Andre Vipolis as College Boy 1, Joey Kern as College Boy 2, and Jeffrey Arend as College Boy 3. Amy DeLucia as Bobby, Philip Brinkemeyer as the German man, Maria Thornburg as the German woman, Blanchard Ryan as Casino, somebody named Sally. And then Charlie Flynn as the Dimpus Burger guy, and Linda Carter as the Governor Jessamine. Overall, great casting for the film, for what the film is. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I don't think you could have the same effect with this film if you had different supporting cast members, like the governor, like the burger kid, like the college kids. Did you find that about?
Yes.
Yes. What else has he been in?
He's been in a lot of TV. He's been in like Malcolm in the Middle. He's been in a couple other movies. He mostly plays some kind of a federal or sheriff or detective or some kind of a chief in everything he's in.
Yeah.
Some kind of an authority figure.
Yes. Going into the filming really quick, quote-unquote local cop scenes were mainly filmed in the city of Beacon, and the highway cop scenes were filmed on New York State Route 117 and the Taconic State Parkway, both in Westchester County, New York, in the towns of Ossing and Briar Manor, with Rockefeller State Park Preserve, which runs parallel, used as well. The syrup chugging scene was filmed in the M's Cozy Corner, located in Fishkill, New York. Wow. How'd you like to live in a town called Fishkill?
That would be awesome.
I'm from Fishkill, New York.
I kill fish in New York.
Which has since closed and been replaced by a pharmacy. The pharmacy closed in 2007 due to flooding. The opening scene involving the white Mazda Miata was shot in a pub called Golden Rail in Newburgh, New York. The bar is located right off New York State Route 32, North Plank Road, and it's not far from the Newburgh/Beacon Bridge in the town of Fishkill and the city of Beacon, where other scenes were also shot for the film. As far as the filming, I understand it's cheaper to film in other locations versus, either the actual locations that they're supposed to be, but I don't know, when I first saw this, I was like, wow, that looks really like Vermont. You really can't tell a difference.
I didn't even pay that close of attention to know where the hell it was.
Well, not the first time I saw it, I didn't, but, going through and after reading that information and going through today and watching it, yeah, I did. The critical reception of the film has received mixed reviews from critics, greeted warmly by some and panned by the others. Aggregate review website Rotten Tomatoes scores only 35% positive reviews, while Metacritic, another aggregate review website, gives it a Metascore of 40 out of 100, which according to the website's rating system scores as mixed or average reviews. Here we go again. Film critic Roger Ebert awarded the film 2.5 stars out of 4, saying, "I can't quite recommend it. It's too patched together, but I almost can. It's the kind of movie that makes you want to like it." Which, wow. An almost
review?
Well, no, I was going to say an almost positive review from Ebert. I believe this is the second time that has happened so far in MWire's history. It happened last week with one of the Mission Impossible films. And then there's a soundtrack for the film. Majority of the music was done by 38 Special, and there are a bunch of other bands on it that I've never seen or don't even know.
Yeah, I've not heard of any of these groups except for 38 Special.
I was going to say outside of 38 Special. Awards. In 2001, Super Troopers won the Audience Award at the South by Southwest Film Competition. The movie tied with Lady Porn and... Wow. Okay. As far as... Oh, what were you going to say?
Oh, nothing. I was just going to laugh.
Oh. As far as prequels, sequels, whatever, at the 2006 Comic-Con convention in San Diego, California, Broken Lizard revealed that a prequel for the film is in the works. It will take place in the 1970s and will follow the fathers of the main characters in the original film. It is supposed to come out sometime in 2010. Jay Chandrasekhar told Rotten Tomatoes, "The joke is that we'll make it Super Troopers 6, set during the bicentennial. We'll have a little shaggier hair and mustaches. We might do it. I don't know. That movie is sort of a special place in a lot of people's hearts, so all we can do is mess it up." In January 2009, interview with MovieWeb.com, Paul Soder and Jay Chandrasekhar revealed that details about the possible sequel. Chandrasekhar said, "We pick up the story essentially right where we left off, maybe about 3 months later. We're all working undercover for the lumber industry. What has happened is that there are all of these eco-terrorists that are trying to blow up the lumber mills, and we're there working as security." Soder added to that, "The big picture is that we're on the Canadian border, and in reality what has happened is that the government has found places where the markers were off or wrong, and there are these areas of land that were thought to be Canada but are actually part of the U.S.
Nice.
We are enlisting to patrol this area that was always thought to be Canadian soil, but no, it's actually the United States. We are enlisted because they have to send someone there to help make it part of the U.S. territory now. We get recruited to be the highway patrolman there, and we are surrounded by all of these Canadian people that aren't happy about this. We essentially have to impose U.S. law on a bunch of Canadians that aren't at all happy about it. Wow, I want to see that. Take that, Canada, you bastards. No, I'm just joking.
Wow.
That sounds like a pretty cool film.
Yeah, and it says that if it's going to come out, it'll be 2011, is what it's looking like.
Yep.
And it's got Ramathorn, Farva, Foster, Womack, and Rabbit signed on.
Yep.
And that's it. They don't have the regular chief.
Yeah, well...
I doubt he'll be back.
Well, he could be, just depending on what Brian Cox wants to do, but all those guys are the Broken Lizard crew, so...
Oh, yeah. Well, they're all writing the movie, too.
So, as far as some trivia, I found on IMDb, in his first film. In this film, the evil local police chief is played by Daniel von Bargen, who played a SWAT communicator in The Silence of the Lambs, 1991. The Highway Patrol's Captain John O'Hagan was played by Brian Cox, who played Dr. Hannibal Lecter in Manhunter, 1986. Wow, I didn't know that. In the syrup chugging scene in the diner, the first few takes were done with the actors drinking thick iced tea from syrup containers, but the iced tea didn't look realistic enough. Real syrup was brought in, and the actors then did several takes in which they actually chugged entire bottles of syrup. These are the takes you see in the close-ups. However, some of the wide shots with the iced tea were kept in, which I never noticed a difference when it came to that scene. I noticed that the syrup was kind of getting lighter in some of the wide shots, but how the hell would you substitute syrup for iced tea? I don't know.
Well, it can be done.
The Stoner's line in the beginning, "The schnozberries taste like schnozberries," is a reference to a line of the dialogue spoken in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the 1971 version.
See, I thought that's what it came from originally. I just couldn't remember why it got such popularity recently. And then as I watched this, I remembered why.
Yeah. The couple that Farva, Kevin Heffernan, says chicken fucker to are actually Heffernan's parents. They knew he was going to say something rude, but weren't prepared for the chicken fucker.
That was classic.
Chicken fucker. Officer Tom McCardle in the budget committee is mentioned about midway through the film. This character is named after the film editor Tom McCardle, who also did The Station Agent in 2003. Let's see, what else is good here? Oh yeah, in the scene where Rabbit is stuffed into a locker covered in shaving cream, he is actually covered in menthol shaving cream. The crew was unaware that the menthol burns your skin if left on too long, so after the scene, Eric Stolansky was sent next door to a firehouse to get hosed off.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, really. The scene where the troopers are smoking marijuana while watching the Johnny Chimpo cartoon and the redness of their eyes was achieved by makeup artists blowing menthol in their faces. Again, menthol burns. When Farva is handcuffed to the toilet, it is a lime that is taped into his mouth. Wow. Looked like a giant green tennis ball to me. In the scene where Ursula hits Foster in the head with the snow cone, there is a setup to indicate that the snow cone is solid. There was a mid-scene switch scheduled in which the hard snow cone would be replaced with a softer one. However, the switch did not occur during several of the takes, and hence Paul Soter took a solid block of ice to the head about 9 times before they got it right. Wow, that's film dedication right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple of other ones, but not really. I don't know. They're not really that great. The Super Troopers poster and tagline are parodies of Altered States, which came out in 1980. What are your final thoughts on this movie for this week?
Definitely a must-see. It's hilarious from beginning to end. There's plenty of spoofing and comedy that you can grab from this movie that is funny even in everyday use, such as random meowing in conversation, and just random pranks like that. But I just love it because it's another cop-ish movie. Mm-hmm. It kind of brings back the police academy with a more modern feel.
Oh yeah, very much so. What would you rate?
Definitely awesome though.
Oh yes. What would you rate this from 1 to 10?
I'd have to give it a 9.
I'm right there with you. I think some of the stuff that Farva did, not really what he said, but just what he did, I really, Farva's character is the one that really turned me off, but it didn't turn me off to the whole movie.
Well, the only thing that makes this not a 10 is because they had that scene with Farva getting scrubbed down in the police station.
And you actually see his dick.
Unfortunately.
For the lack of his dick. Anyways.
Somebody was staring too long.
No. I caught it at a glimpse. No, I was not staring too long because I actually almost fast-forwarded that scene. I actually almost skipped that scene altogether. So I think up next, in between this and the closing, I may actually make a little clips from the movie. And then we're going to go into the closing. We will be right back.
I'm already pulled over. Pull over further, man. I can't pull it. Sir, I'm already pulled over.
He's already pulled over. He can't pull over any farther.
You must be eating like $100 worth of pot and like $30 worth of shrooms, man.
Who's the man?
So I'm gonna need that $130. Whenever you get a chance.
Aaron, how about cat game?
Cat game? What's the record?
Thorny did 6, but I think you can do 10.
10? Starting right meow? Sorry about that.
All right, meow. Hand over your license and registration. Your registration? Hurry up, meow.
Sorry.
Is there something funny here, boy?
No.
Well, then why are you laughing, Mr. Larry Johnson? All right, meow, where were we?
I'm sorry, are you saying meow?
Am I saying meow?
I thought...
Don't think, boy. Meow, do you know how fast you were going? Meow, what is so damn funny?
I could have sworn you said meow.
Do I look like a cat to you, boy? Am I jumping around all nimbly-bimbly from tree to tree?
No.
Am I drinking milk from a saucer?
No.
Well, do you see me eating mice? Now, you stop laughing right now.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm gonna have to give you a ticket on this one.
But...
No buts, Meow. That's the law. Not so funny, Meow, is it? Meow.
Welcome to Dippus. Can I take your order?
Give me a double bacon cheeseburger.
Double bacon cheeseburger. It's for a cop.
What the hell's that all about? You gonna spin it now?
No, I was just telling him that so he makes it good. Don't spit in that cop's burger.
Yeah, thanks.
Roger.
Give me a pie, apple.
Do you want me to hold the spit? Just kidding, Officer Farva. So, do you want to Dippus-size your meal for a quarter more?
Want me to punch-size your face for free?
Some male figure. I'm his dad. And stop with the whole transfer thing. Christ. You know what? I gotta go. Let's talk about this later, okay? Okay, bye.
Now don't give me any lip.
It's just a quarter, and look how much more you get.
I said no.
It's just 25 cents.
Hey, listen, guy. He doesn't want it.
I can handle this Ramathorn. I don't want it.
Right. Beverage?
Give me a liter of cola.
A what?
A liter of cola.
Liter of cola? Do we make liter of cola?
Well, you just order a large Farva.
I don't want a large Farva. I want a goddamn liter of cola.
I don't know what that is.
Liter is French for give me some fucking cola before I break Boo's fucking leg.
All right, relax.
That look like spit to you?
Yeah.
Ah, fuck it. I feel like a real cop again.
Well, I wouldn't get used to it because you know it's not going to last.
Bullshit. I'm not going anywhere.
All right, buddy.
Hell, we're about to get shut down anyway.
Oh, yeah? That's a lot of dimp.
What do you do if you get transferred?
I don't know. I mean, Bobby doesn't want to leave, and I don't want to leave her and Arlo.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Who gives a shit? I'm about to win $10 million anyway, right?
Are you? What are you going to do with that $10 million? And you can't say buy the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I'd buy a $10 million car.
Yeah, good investment, but I'd pull you over.
Bullshit, you could never catch me.
Oh, I could never catch you.
Well, if you did, I'd activate my car's wings and fly away. I got a good feeling about this.
Damn it, you burger punk! You son of a bitch!
Chicken fucker!
He's still bulgy, he's like a moose. Oh no, I think he's going back again.
Freeze, motherfucker!
Oh God, please don't shoot me, I'm naked.
Drop your coat and grab your toes.
What?
I'm gonna show you where the wild goose goes.
Oh, this isn't happening. I'm a police officer. Ursula, help!
Baby, I'm gonna butter your bread. You don't have these at your station. I don't suppose you got a pair of fresh underwear I can borrow.
I'm not sure you could fit into my panties.
Thank you for joining us here on Movie Week in Review. There are several ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. The first is you can visit www.geekcastradio.com and find all the other GCRN podcasts there. You can also comment through the website or through Facebook Connect. Give us some feedback on the website, folks. We really enjoy seeing feedback. The second is that you can stop by the www.PredicateEmpire.com/CafeSpark. That is our forums, and get all your GCRN/Transformers discussion topics there. The third is you can leave the show feedback on iTunes. Just a quick note on that. Currently, we have no reviews for MWire. We've received reviews for a few of our other shows. If you guys are liking this podcast, please leave us a review on iTunes. The fourth is you can visit the earth-2.net forums and find our threads for these shows under the self-promotion section. And the fifth is the email address, which is gcrnmwire@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter. The show name there is GCRNMWire. Mine is TFG1Mike, and what's your Twitter?
SCP-21.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the M-Wire and wish you'll join us next time when we will be reviewing the Triple X movie franchise. For now, I am TFG1Mike with
Steve Megatron Phillips.
Saying in the immortal words of Elizabeth Shue, do not fuck with the babysitter. Thank you for listening. Until next time.